Good morning, cuz. Good morning, VG.
What's up, Baldy?
How we doing today? What do we see yesterday in whatever legal tampering means? What do we see? $3 billion in contracts? I
A
mean,
lot
it's
of
it's
a lot of
unbelievable.
bad teams spend a lot of money.
Well, I'll say this: the Patriots were a bad team at this time last year. They spent a lot of money, and they hit on every one of the free agents. Like you go through Morgan Moses, Robert Spillane, Milton Williams, Harold Landry. You go through the whole list of them. Every one of those guys helped them get to a Super Bowl. So that's what they're all chasing. They're all chasing that right now.
Headline though, Jaelan Phillips, $120 million.
I guess they just completely disregard his injury history and how severe it is going back to college. Like, you track these kids going back to college because like he stopped playing football for a year at UCLA and was out of football and worried about his neck, all right, and his spine. Went to University of Miami, had a year, was a first round pick, had two major injuries back to back years. Last year was the first year he stayed healthy between Miami and Philadelphia. And, Carolina's trying to build up. I hope Jalen's a good dude, really good guy. Like, I hope he can stay healthy, but it has traveled with them for a long time.
Really, I and then Tennessee goes out and spends that kind of money on Wan'Dale Robinson, and let's try
Yeah.
to recreate the Giants' offense with Bellinger at tight end.
Well, if you looked at what Tennessee did, and I know you did, between Robert Saleh and the new offensive coordinator, the former head coach of they all it was is New York connections. Cordell Flott, a nickel corner. John Franklin Myers was with Solid with the New York Jets. Daniel Bellinger was with the Jets or Giants. Jermaine Johnson was with everything had a connection, and that's really kind of part of this whole thing. I mean, Malik Willis, quarterback in Miami now. I mean, he had his general manager from Green Bay and his defensive coordinator all go to Miami. They signed off on it. So it's a direct point to point one person market in a lot of these deals.
Yeah, all right. Let's start off on uh, the edge because that's the biggest thing for the Eagles right now on what's going to happen next. So we talked about Phillips. Eagles are sitting there going, all right, what's next?
There's one guy out there. There's one guy that can help this team right now, and that's Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson is the one guy that can help this team on the edge. If you're looking at for the Eagles to sign somebody, and they're out on Jalen, they lose Jaelan Phillips and Max Crosby, signs of Baltimore. You go through the list of them. That's the one guy that could help. Joseph, I mean, you just look at all these guys: Kwity Paye, Boye Mafe, Joseph Asai. I mean, all these guys signed, but there's one guy out there that's legit. He's better than probably all of them. That's Hendrickson.
It's funny. I hear that they're looking at trading for Jonathan Grenard.
Okay. Jonathan Gennardson, he hit free agency last year, did well in Minnesota, I guess maybe 2 years ago now. Really worked his way up in Houston, and then hit free agency in Minnesota. But Jonathan Gennard is a good football player. He's a good player. Like that guy, like I know that guy pretty good. Like he's a legit edge rusher.
Yeah. So I think they would like to have a guy like him. Like, there's two ways to go, right? You got Nolan and you got Jalix. And so you have I think they would prefer a higher guy, like a better player with Nolan and Jalix. Now you could always go the other route, which is then they were talking about Leonard Floyd and bringing Hassan back, and you can go that route. Bradley Chubb.
Jonathan Gennard's a good player because if they can get him signed from Minnesota, he's put up double-digit sacks in probably 3 of his seasons right now. I'm guessing off the top of my head, but he's basically a right end. He doesn't play on the left side. He hasn't. He's been a right defensive end in Houston and Minnesota, and he's been very good. He's a very good player.
What do you think of so the safety spot? They let Reed go. Reed got 8 and change from Houston.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you can't find safeties in the draft. You find safeties in free agency. That's what the Eagles have been doing. But Nick Cross is still out there. There's guys. Kevin Byard led the league, who was with the Eagles, led the league in interceptions last year. He's in Chicago. But Brian Cook, Reed, Kobe Bryant, Brian Cook, they've all signed.
I heard they got some interest in Jaquan Brisker.
All right, out of Chicago. The only question with Jaquan is he's had a bunch of concussions, and he
Yeah.
was concerned there. He's missed time, but he's a Penn State kid. He's a good football player. That'd be my only concern about Jaquan.
How, how you look at the receiver market? Obviously, Alec Pierce re-signing at a huge number, man. Dude,
Huge number. There's a difference between a huge number and the highest paid receiver in the history of the NFL. Like, is he, Jamar? Is he Justin? Is he CD? No. I mean, he caught 47 passes last year. Now, he averaged over 20 yards a catch. They take some shots to him, but he's never been a volume receiver. They let Pittman go to Pittsburgh. So they're gonna keep Tyler Howard. They're gonna keep Howard. They'll keep their tight end. They'll keep their running back. They got their slot receiver Josh Downs, but the highest paid receiver in football. But that's what free agency does. It resets the market. Look at the center market with Tyler Linderbaum.
yeah.
The market was 18 million. Okay, Creed Humphrey set the market 2 years ago. All right, Baltimore was ready to reset the market at I think 21 million a year. The Raiders paid him 24 million a year. Now they got Mendoza coming in. You better get him a center, somebody that can like literally learn protections with and study, fronts and blitzes and pressures and all that stuff. And he's really good. Tyler's good. He's a little undersized for me, but he's a good player. But he's getting 27 million a year right now.
Yeah, it's insane. It's funny. I was talking to an executive, and the guy goes, "Dude, bad teams killing the market." Like that. That
Yeah.
was the response. Bad teams
Yeah.
killing the market.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, but that's always gone on. It doesn't guarantee anything. Doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, I'm pointing out the New England Patriots and what they just accomplished because they really hit free agency well. But I could show you plenty of teams that have overspent on players. I mean, like the Washington Commanders are spending $100 million on Odafe Owe. Like the guys, I mean, he had 7.5 sacks there, but you have to watch his 7.5 sacks with the Chargers last year. Like, a lot of it is Khalil Mack, a lot of it is, other guys doing things and you come and clean up. He got 3 in one game. That meant in 16 other games, he accumulated 4.5 sacks.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I know they need it. I'd rather just sign Von Miller for another year. He got you 10 sacks last year.
Yes, I don't even understand it. Now the Patriots are now the Eagles have the Patriots over a barrel, right? Like so, it's like you want a receiver, all right? You wanted AJ because they were close. One of the things was I know Howie wanted next year's first round pick. I told you this, and
Yeah.
New England wanted to give up 31. So the impasse happened. So
Yeah.
now the impasse remains. But like Howie just goes, all right, like I got a receiver who wants out. He's the best receiver that you're going to get. I can go to you. I can go to Denver. I can go to the Chargers. Like I got options.
Yeah. No. Like, look, Howie's in a position of strength. We talked about this last week when we were watching film. But like Alec Pierce is off the market. Pittman's off the market. Mike Evans is off the market. Rashid Evans. I mean, you go through the Jalen Naylor. Like, they're running out of Wan'Dale Robinson, whatever. Like, there's nobody like AJ out there. So if you want a legitimate big time X receiver, I mean, Howie's got, he's waiting for his phone to ring and he's waiting for, he's waiting for his collateral to come to him.
Yeah,
And you want to do the deal now, cuz you want to do it now where you have the picks for this year. and you can start really studying the wide receivers or next year. I mean, look, I think they can get through, but you lose Dotson. If you lose AJ, all right. I mean, you start to get pretty thin at that position.
Yeah, I mean, right now, right now, I'm with you. I mean, you're going to look at this draft. You're going to use this draft. You got a lot of capital, period. So you're good. But next year is when you could actually use, like, the Patriot pick could be, in the 20s. Like, you could gain, who knows what happens to them, right? So that's what Howie's thinking about that. But I think either way, you're probably looking at drafting 2 receivers.
This year, probably. I mean, lose your slot receiver. And if you lose, your star receiver, I mean, you probably do have to draft 2, but that's all right. I mean, you can find receivers. I don't think this is the greatest collection, but you got to do your homework and filter them all through.
Like we did. We have our lists.
We have a list. We'll see. We'll see how it pairs up. But I, I just wonder how all this, like if I was AJ Brown and I hear this talk every day, and you can be moved, we would move you for the right price. I don't know how that affects, everybody's affected differently. Like I just don't know how that affects a player. Like you're that close to being out the door, you know? And Mike Evans, he left. He didn't want to leave, but he had his demands of what he wanted. He wanted to go to a team that had a chance to win a Super Bowl. He wanted a good quarterback. He wanted a solid organization. He got everything he wanted to get, a 13th year. Like I don't hear AJ. Like New England would be a good spot. You're with the young quarterback. You're with the proven organization. Like New England would be a good spot. Denver would be a good spot. I mean, look, if those 3 spots are all viable, they're good spots. But at the same time, you know what? We didn't get our price. Come on back and play another year. It doesn't like players want to get paid, but they want to be wanted as much. Like it sounds childish, but it's not. Players want to be wanted,
Yeah.
and they know when they're not wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right about that. That's the whole mentality. That's the whole mentality of it. Hey, is it the Rams conference? Because now they have shored up that it's amazing at Watson to go with McDuffie. I mean, they're ridiculous. I heard the Rams were kicking the tires on AJ too.
Look, they look at draft picks as basically trading blocks and trading collateral. That's what they do. Like, to get Trent McDuffie, because what they want, is they want proven players. All right. They want guys like you go draft these guys. I can show you every draft going back to the history of time, and I'll show you 10 busts in every first round. I mean, it's guaranteed. So, and you're going to get 10 pretty good players and probably 10 great players. That's kind of what the curve looks like on most first rounds. So the Rams are like going, why wouldn't we go and trade for Jalen Ramsey in the prime of his career, win a Super Bowl with Jalen Ramsey? Why wouldn't we go trade for Trent McDuffie at 25 years old in the prime of his career, a 3-year starter? He's played 10 postseason games in his first 4 years in Kansas City. He's won 2 Super Bowls. And go get his partner in crime in Jalen Watson and go, okay, this is the weakness in our team. We recognize it. Let's fix it right now. And they re-signed Cam Curl. Like they just are smart about what. But what the key to what they do, you find Kyron Williams in the 5th round, Puka Nacua in the 5th round, a Kobe Turner in the 3rd round. Like they hit on the picks that they have. They put a premium on making sure that Puka's as good as anybody in this whole business right now. So, and then you get him in the 5th round, you get him on a rookie contract. I mean, you could do a lot with your top flight picks to go secure positions of need.
Did you like the Chiefs getting Kenneth Walker?
Look, I said yesterday on the air, that this was a perfect storm for Kenneth Walker. First year he's ever stayed completely healthy. All right. They win the Super Bowl. All right. He's coming off his rookie contract. And Kansas City is a team of need at that position. So, I mean, you could go march out Kareem Hunt and Isaac Pacheco and all these guys, They couldn't run the football very well last year. And so Mahomes is coming off an injury. Let's like not put it all on Patrick. Let's help him out a little bit. He's excellent. Walker's excellent in the screen game. So, I think there's value there for what the Chiefs want, but it was the perfect situation for Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, it makes me queasy investing in a guy like him after staying healthy for the first time. I don't like it. I didn't like it. I get queasy with that.
Yeah.
Who won the day, Baldy?
I guess it kind of depends. I mean, look, if Tua goes to Atlanta and he stays healthy and beats out Penix, which he's going to get a jump on because Penix is not healthy yet. If Tua goes down there, look, you can say whatever you want about Tua. At some point in his career, this is what he's done. He's led the league in completion percentage. He's a lifetime 68.5% completion quarterback. He's accurate, okay? He's led the league in passing yards. He's led the league in yards per attempt. He's led the league in almost every category at some point. He's never thrown to a 6'5" Drake London or 6'5" Kyle Pitts. Like he's got a good offensive line, he's got Bijan behind him, and he's got a pretty talented defense. Like Tua and the Falcons paid $1.3 million for him. They got him at a bargain. Like they've got nothing to lose. It's low risk, high reward. Like I think the Falcons, and I remember talking to Matt Ryan at the Super Bowl this year. He's the president of our operations right now. And I remember Matt saying, like, just come on up, Baldy, anytime. Let's go, let's go study my team, help me out, whatever. So like I'm gonna go up and visit with them. He's a Philly kid, the whole thing. But like I feel like the Falcons did as good as anybody. Get in a position of need. Kirk Cousins, they'll eat some of that contract. But Tua for $1 million, like I'd take a shot on it.
That's fascinating.
Hey, Baldy, they talk about like he's left-handed, Penix is left-handed. How big a deal is that for the offensive line and blocking schemes and such?
There's not a lot of left-handed guys to begin with. So I think the fact that if you've got your starter and your backup, they're both left-handed, you usually become left-handed team. You run to the left a lot more than you would to the right. So I do think some of that gets your strong side is usually your left side. So your right tackle is protecting your blind side, Caleb McGarry. So that kind of gets flipped around a little bit. But Tua gets rid of the ball so quickly. I don't even think it makes much of a difference.
Back with Baldy as he gets ready for day 2. What are your duties today?
I'm doing a lot on free agency today at the network here. Tomorrow is my big day. I did 6 hours yesterday. I'll do 6 tomorrow. Today's kind of a light lifting day, but I'm getting all these text messages from some of these general managers, and they're like, "Hey, could you pump? We just signed this guy, this left guard. Do you think you could like do a breakdown on him and really get our fans juiced up?"
Well, not really. You know what's funny? It's a great marketing tool to get people excited by you doing Baldy's breakdowns or you're like, how about 10 G's a pop, all right?
Yeah, I know. I should. There should be a price tag. In fact, I was just looking. Jaelan Phillips just hit me up. I did a breakdown on him from yesterday, so like he's happy. But I mean, if you get $120 million, does it make a difference what I
Really? You got $120 million. Like, all right.
I mean, you're sitting on a pile of cash. Like anybody, if we were sitting in that kind of cash, anybody could say anything about us. We wouldn't really care.
Yeah, but listen, that goes to show you that Baldy's breakdowns mean something, man.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
I think there's a lot of validity to it, man. People want to see themselves on. Everybody's got their phone and their device in their hand. They want to see what somebody's saying about them, I guess.
Well, and not really, someone they respect. That's the key. The key is the respect that you bring.
There is some of that comes with it, cuz I do agree.
If I said to you, what's left today? If you're shopping right today, where are you looking at? Is there any value left in the aisles?
Yeah, I think there's still some value. If you said I I don't know. I think most of the good running backs are gone, but could Romeo Dobbs, step in? And he's had some good days in Green Bay. I mean, Stephon Diggs led the Patriots with 85 catches last year. The guy can still, like, I don't think they beat the Houston Texans if he doesn't catch that 7-yard pass right before the half between two defenders and he's twisting in the air to catch it. I think there's some validity there. I think a lot of I think some of the cornerbacks that are still out there, like Nashawn Wright, was really good. The Chicago led the league in interceptions last year with 23. Nashawn had a bunch. He was really good at corner last year. I mean, the Cowboys, they made some moves yesterday. The Cowboys defense last year, you have to understand just how bad they were. They gave up 511 points. All right. In the history of the Dallas Cowboys, no team has ever given up close to that many points. Make 480 points, maybe the most ever. They gave up 511. They were last in nearly every single category last year. Their secondary stunk. Like, they couldn't play man and they couldn't play zone. And so Parker Washington's going down there to try, like, they haven't done anything to the secondary yet. Maybe they got a safety. Maybe they picked up a safety yesterday. But, like, you can say, okay, we've got Quinnen, we've got Kenny Clark, and we've got so-and-so right now. But to me, like, you can, like, talk about their defense all you want, or their offense all you want. Oh, they got Jaelan Thompson and Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary lost 20 pounds. He's got no power left in him. Like, I don't know. If they really watching him, they're really watching Rashawn. Like, I mean, so if you just talk to Lane Johnson, you're like, he doesn't have the power he used to have. He came in the league out of Michigan. He was 285 pounds. He was like Cam Jordan. Now he's 260. He wanted to get lighter, get faster. Now he doesn't have the power to really pressure a quarterback.
Wow. I love it.
Jaelan Thompson they picked up Jaelan Thompson. That kid's been playing next to Buda Baker in Arizona forever. But that kid is a good tackler. He's like, Arizona is like one of these franchises nobody watches. But that kid's a good football player, and he's healthy. He doesn't miss games.
So, what do you have, VG?
Oh, Baldy, people in the chat, they're wanting to know. They say you look really clean cut. They're asking if you shaved your head.
Haircut.
Oh no, I've got it high and tight right now.
Oh,
high
nice.
And tight. Oh yeah. No, this is like, I'm getting this. The league year starts tomorrow. I wanted a new cut, fresh cut for tomorrow.
Love it.
He'll be all suited up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's
tomorrow.
No, we're coming in sharp tomorrow, man. Coming in sharp.
New league year. Baldy's fresh.
Of course.
Ready to go,
Expect
man.
nothing less.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. When you home?
I'm coming back on Thursday.
Jersey?
Yeah, come back to Jersey on Thursday. I'll be there all weekend.
Oh, good. We need a date. We need another session. All right.
We can have another session, cuz. There's more to look at.
I'll
be over there all day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, I need. We got to look at defensive guys. I also want to look at tight ends.
Okay, tight ends. Yeah. All right.
And the D guys. We got to look at some D guys too. All right.
Okay. All right. You got it, cuz. Yeah.
All right, brother. Break a leg. We'll be watching.
Okay, buddy. Thanks.
There he is. Baldy.
Got the nice